This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by SACL, CAI.
SACL, CAI, SACL, CAI.
The Ridley Report, Ridley checking in from Guilford, New Hampshire at Porcupine Fest. I'm standing here with Michael Hampton and his beer. Michael Hampton of Homeland Stupidity.us, Manchester resident. And Michael, how did you learn about the Free State Project? By the way, the Free State Project is basically a bunch of people who love liberty and are moving to New Hampshire for more freedom. And Michael was maybe one of the first 200 to do so. Yes, how did you learn about the project?
You know, I don't remember, to be honest, how I learned about it. But I had heard about it since first hearing about it. I heard about it again on Free Talk Live, the radio show, and I couldn't miss it.
What was it that triggered you to move here?
You know, what really got me to move, I was planning to move eventually, but what really got me to move is I went to the first Free State Project Liberty Forum in 2007, and I was just so excited by what was going on, everything that I saw there, the people I met. 3 weeks later, I moved.
And how easy was it for you to find somewhere to live initially?
Initially, it was simple. I hooked up with Alec at Pork Manor, the 412 Central in Manchester, and got right in, and it was just a breeze.
What was the hardest part, though, of moving to the state?
The hardest part probably was, I think the hardest part was leaving behind people who maybe are on board with the principles of liberty, or maybe not, but don't want to move for whatever reason.
How did it change the quality of your life when you moved up here?
You know, my life has gotten so much better. I just, from soup to nuts, I mean, I could go on all day answering that question. Just, the weather's better, ironically. The people are better, which may surprise you if you think everyone in New England is a jerk.
I don't.
Well, some people do. Some people have this misconception that people up here are just jerks or assholes or whatever. And it's not true. I mean, people up here, for the most part, are pretty nice, but they do mind their own business. And that's another thing I appreciate.
What would you say, in terms of the different types of activism? Of course, Free Staters moved to New Hampshire because they want to engage in some sort of activism to bring about more freedom. What kind of activism are you most drawn toward?
The things that I do, for the most part, are behind the scenes. You don't generally see me out at the State House or out in the streets doing civil disobedience or protesting. I have done all of those things, but the thing that I do most has to do with technology. I've put together the so-called Porcupine 411 notification system. And
basically, that's like a citizen hotline. Citizens can call that number when they're harassed by the police or other emergencies. Yeah, emergencies or just general information. I mean, if you're needing help moving in for some reason, then you can call the number and leave all your information, and people will show up at your house. Just be sure to give them pizza and beer. Another question I have for you, Michael, is what was like a favorite memory of activism that you have in New Hampshire?
You know, one thing that motivated me to come up here, aside from the Liberty Forum, is right before that, November of 2006, I came up here to New Hampshire on my own because you were on trial for, what was it, distribution of handbills or something crazy like that. And just meeting people like Russell Canning and Lauren Canario and people who are willing to get out and do something no matter how small. I mean, I remember you standing in front of one of these Homeland Security cars with your sign that says Ministry of Torture, which I took a picture of that, and it was in the Keene Free Press. I even wrote an article which was in the Keene Free Press about that day, and about things that were going on there. So that's one of the big ones, and that was one of the things. Just knowing there were people here who back each other up when they're having something happen to them. That really got me going.
Awesome.
Any other questions?
Yeah, it's a real honor, though. I mean, it's a real honor that I was one of your favorite memories of activism, so that's cool. Any message that you would have for folks who are considering moving to New Hampshire but on the fence about it? For more freedom?
Yeah, the message is simple. Get here. You don't have to move here tomorrow, but come up here, whether it's for PorcFest or the Liberty Forum or somebody being on trial for some BS charge or just to tour the state on your own when nothing's going on. I mean, come here, see for yourself. I guarantee you, once you see it, you will go straight home and start packing your bags.
All right, Michael Hampton of Homeland Stupidity.us. Thanks, Michael.
You're very welcome.
This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by Sekel, CAI. They're a company that does collections a whole new way. They know that not only do you want your money back, you also want to keep your customers. Sekel, CAI. They collect with respect.